Good morning, students. This is fifth part of the chapter on the face of it. As we all know very well that on the face of it, the play on the face of it brings out the idea that the people who have any handicap, physical impairment of some kind generally suffer from a sense of loneliness and mental pain. Means they don't want sympathy from you. They want what? Equal opportunities. Okay, it also talks about how appearances are deceptive, and most often we have seen that Mr. Lamb who is an old man, handicapped old man, but he is full of positive approach, positive vibes. But on the other hand, a boy of 14 years old is an isolated boy, and he is full of negative approaches. So it also talks about how appearances are deceptive, and most often we go on dealing with impressions and prejudices about others without caring to know about them actually. Okay, so in my last class I have cleared it that Mr. Lamb was trying his level best to fill the positive vibes in Derry's mind, and he wanted Derry to be a lively boy, but Derry was refusing each and every idea. And then we have come to know that when Mr. Lamb was extending his hand for the friendship, Derry refused. Derry told that he would not come again in that garden. And then he further told that when Mr. Lamb told that doesn't mean they are enemies, because Derry thought that once if a person is coming once in Lamb's garden, he is not his friend. उसको लगता है डैरी को कि मिस्टर लैम के गार्डन में जो भी एक बार आता है वो उसका फ्रेंड नहीं है. But Mr. Lamb had a different approach. He told that doesn't mean they are enemies. Either does it? Derry, no, they are just nothing people, that's all. Mr. Lamb, people are never just nothing, never. Means Derry was full of you can say negative views. Okay, he has grudge. He has grudge for people. Okay, and they are Derry. There are some people I hate, Mr. Lamb. That's true. You more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns your face. Derry only means Derry has this perception that due to this acid, कि इसी acid के कारण his half of face has been burnt, and he was not able to enjoy the world. So that's why he told that only. उसने कहा सिर्फ only. And then Mr. Lamb further told, like a bomb only blew up my leg. There's worse things can happen. You can burn yourself away inside. After I had come home, one person said he would have been better off stopping in the hospital. He would be better off with others like himself. She thinks blind people only ought to be with other blind people, and idiot boys with idiot boys. So Derry was conveying his comments, whatever he faced in his life. Then Mr. Lamb told that, and people with no legs altogether, that's right, हाँ, जिनके पैर नहीं है वो बोले हाँ साथ में रहो. Means Derry wanted a different world. Whatever he has suffered in his life, he was explaining कि जो कुछ उसने सुना वो सब explain कर रहा है Mr. Lamb को. Mr. Lamb told, what kind of a world would that be, Derry? At least there would be nobody to stare at you because you were not like them. कम से कम आपको कोई घूरने वाला तो नहीं होगा, क्योंकि मैं अगर जले हुए लोगों के साथ में रहूँगा, so they have the same face, so there would be no difference. Mr. Lamb, so you think you are just the same as all the other people with burnt faces? Just by what you look like, everything's different, everything's same, but everything is different itself. Jerry, how do you make all that out? ये आप सब कैसे बोल सकते हो इतना? Okay, so Mr. Lamb commented that it did not mean that strangers were enemies, if not friends. Then Derry said that they were nothing, just people. Mr. Lamb said that it could not be that people were nothing to each other. Derry said that there were some people whom he hated. There were some people he hated. But Lamb remarks that hatred would do him more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns our face also, but hatred can burn us away inside. Derry said that when he had returned from the hospital, a person had said that it was better if he had remained there with people like him. He added that people think all disabled people should remain together at one place. Then further, Mr. Lamb said that you should not take care of all these things. Why? Because a bomb explosion blew up his leg, but there were worse things that could happen, and one could burn himself up from the inside by the negative feelings. So Mr. Lamb ने उसको बोला कि तुम्हारी ये जो hatred है, तुम्हारा जो ये attitude है, leave that attitude. Okay, because this attitude is eating you. Okay, then Mr. Lamb, okay, Derry then further asked him, how do you make all that out? Mr. Lamb, watching, listening, thinking. Derry, I would like a place like this, a garden. I would like a house with no curtains. Mr. Lamb, the gate's always open. Derry, but this is not mine. लेकिन ये मेरा garden नहीं है. Mr. Lamb, everything's yours if you want it. What's mine is anybody's. वो सब तुम्हारा है जो तुम चाहते हो. Means whatever you want, you can achieve it. Okay. And then further he says, everything's yours if you want it. What's mine is anybody's. That is. So I could come here again. तो फिर मैं यहाँ आ जाऊँ. Even if you were out, I could come here. Mr. Lamb, certainly. You might find others here, of course. Derry, oh, means it has stopped Derry. Why? Because Derry did not want to go near people. Okay, Mr. Lamb. Well, that need not stop you. You needn't mind. Derry, it would stop them. They would mind me. When they saw me here, they look at my face and run. Then Derry asked if he could visit the place again. And Mr. Lamb replied that he could, and also said that he may also find others here, but he need not mind other people. No one would stop him from entering the premises. Derry said that they probably would not like to enter the place upon seeing him. Maybe they would look at his face, get scared and run away. Okay? Then Mr. Lamb made him understand. They might not. शायद कुछ भागे, कुछ नहीं भागे. शायद कुछ भागे और कुछ नहीं भागे. Okay, so you would have to take the risks. So would they. You would have to take the risks. Okay, so would they. Derry, no, you would. नहीं. Risks मुझे नहीं. Risks क्या होगा? आपको होगा. And you might have me and lose all your other friends because nobody wants to stay near me if they can help it. Mr. Lamb, I have not moved. मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अगर नहीं आते मत आने दो. Derry, no. Mr. Lamb, when I go down the street, the kids shout, Lamby Lamb, but they still come into the garden, into my house. It's a game. They are not afraid of me. Why should they be? क्यों डरेंगे मुझसे? Because I am not afraid of them. That's why not, Derry. Then Mr. Lamb explained. What? Derry said that he liked Mr. Lamb's house and garden. He replied that Derry was always welcome there. Derry said that place was not his, and Mr. Lamb said that everything was his if he wanted it to be. क्या तुम्हारा कुछ भी हो सकता है अगर तुम चाहो तो. Derry asked if he could visit the place again, and Mr. Lamb replied that he could, and he would find company too. Okay. Then Derry added that Derry need not mind other people. No one would stop him from entering the premises. Okay. Then Mr. Lamb further said what? Then Derry said that once if he entered his garden, then all of his friends would run away. Then Mr. Lamb said that he would not reply that my friends might or might not run away, and that he had to take a chance on that. Daddy said that Mr. Lamb had to choose out of him and the other people कि या तो आप मुझे चुनो या बाकी को as visitors, because no one liked to remain near me. Mr. Lamb then made him understand why. Mr. Lamb said that he was there and did not run away on seeing Daddy. He added that when he went out on the street, kids teased him. Kids teased him. Although they visited his garden and his house, it was like a game. They were not scared of him because he was not scared of them. Okay. Mr. Lamb replied that they might, कि शायद मेरे जो गार्डन में आते हैं वो भागे या नहीं भागे, might not run away, and that he had to take a chance on that. There is said Mr. Lamb would lose all his friends if he had Daddy in his garden. Mr. Lamb added that when he went out on the street, kids teased him. जो बच्चे हैं मुझे छेड़ते हैं और फिर मेरे गार्डन में आते हैं. Although they visited his garden and his house, it was like a game. It was like a game. They were not scared of him because he was not scared of them. Then it was clear that he was feeling the positive approach, and he wanted Daddy to shed the negative views and feelings. Okay. Then Daddy asked, what? Did his leg get injured in the war? Okay. Then Daddy asked, what? Did you get your leg blown off in the war? Certainly. Daddy, how will you climb on a ladder and get the crab apples down then? तुम फिर कैसे चढ़ते हो? तुम्हारा पैर अगर नहीं है तो एक पैर तो नहीं है, एक पैर आर्टिफिशियल लेग है. Oh, there's a lot of things I have learned to do and plenty of time for it. Years I take it steady. धीरे धीरे मैंने सब सीखा. If you fell and broke your neck, you could lie on the grass and die if you were on your own. Mr. Lamb, I could, हाँ मर भी सकता हूँ. Daddy, you said I could help you. तुमने कहा था मैं तुम्हारी हेल्प करूँ. Mr. Lamb, if you want to. Daddy, but my mother will want to know where I am. It's 3 miles home across the fields. I'm 14, but they still want to know where I am. Mr. Lamb, people worry. लोग टेंशन करते हैं. Daddy, no, people fuss. Means whenever we show our feelings, excitement, or we are excited and worried on you can say on very small issues, we call it fuss. Mr. Lamb, people worry means your mother may get tension for you. No, people fuss. Go back. Mr. Lamb, go back and tell them that it's 3 miles. Mr. Lamb, it's a fine evening. You have got lakhs. Daddy, once I got home, they would never let me come back. Mr. Lamb, once you got home, you would never let yourself come back. Daddy, you don't know what I could do. Mr. Lamb, no, only you know that. If I chose, Daddy, if I chose. Mr. Lamb, if you chose. I don't know everything, boy. I can't tell you what to do. Then Daddy asked, what? Daddy asked his leg got injured in the war, and Mr. Lamb replied that it did so. Daddy asked that how would he climb up the ladder to pluck the apples with that one leg and artificial leg. He replied that there were a lot of the things that he had learned to do. Okay. And then then Daddy added that if he climbed the tree alone, fell from it and broke his neck, he would lie on the grass. That Mr. Lamb said that it could happen. हो सकता है. Daddy asked if he could help him pluck the apples. कि क्या मैं आपकी हेल्प कर सकता हूँ मिस्टर. ओके, क्या मैं आपकी हेल्प कर सकता हूँ. इफ़ यू वांटेड टू. Daddy said that his then Mr. Lamb was agreed. Then Daddy has given an excuse. Daddy ने कहा his mother would be waiting for him. His home was 3 miles away across the fields. Then Mr. Lamb explained, oh my God, you are 14 years of age, but still he was supposed to tell, but you are not able to run, Dodo. But then Daddy explained, no, he was 14 years old, but still he was supposed to tell her mother where he was. कि मेरी मम्मी को मुझे 14 साल की उम्र में भी बताना है कि मैं कहाँ हूँ. Okay. Then Mr. Lamb asked Derry to go home and inform his mother of his whereabouts. His house was 3 miles away. As the weather was fine and he had lags, he could easily go home, tell them, and return. Derry said that once he went home, he would not be allowed to return. Mr. Lamb added that once he reached his home, Derry himself would not feel like coming back. Means, what does this line mean over here? What? Once you got home, you would never let yourself come back. It means this line says that if you are not starting your tasks now, then you are not able to do it एनी टाइम कि जो काम करना है अभी करो, अभी नहीं किया तो कभी नहीं कर पाओगे. ओके, सो मिस्टर लैम एडेड दैट एवरीथिंग वाज डिफरेंट although all things are the same yet they are different. Derry said that he liked Mr. Lamb's house and garden. He replied that Derry was always welcome there. Okay, and Derry said that the place was not his. Then Mr. Lamb made him understand that everything was his if he wanted it to be. Okay, then we will come to know what. Then Mr. Derry has extended his hand to help Mr. Lamb, and Mr. Lamb was agreed. Okay, Derry thinks to help him. He tells Lamb that with one leg he can fall off a ladder and die. Derry offers to help him, but he wants to inform his mother where he is since she will be worried. Lamb doubts if he would come back. कि तुम आओगे. Derry asks the old man about the person. Then we will come to know what. Then we will come to know that Derry asked a question that he has doubt that Mr. Lamb has no friends. क्योंकि उसको believe नहीं हो रहा. Why? Because Derry has no friends. Because he has a half burnt face. Derry का आधा चेहरा जला हुआ है, and Derry has no friends. People make comments on him. That's why he asks one question. What? When Mr. Lamb told that, if you chose, I don't know everything, boy. I can't tell you what to do. तुमको खुद को choose करना है. What do you want in this life? Then Mr. Derry, they tell me. वो मेरे पेरेंट्स कहते हैं कि आई हैव टू इन्फॉर्म दैम. मिस्टर लैम, डू यू हैव टू एग्री? क्या तुम एग्री करते हो? Derry, आई डोंट नो व्हाट आई वॉन्ट समथिंग नो वन एल्स हैज गॉट और एवर विल हैव. पता नहीं मुझे क्या चाहिए, बट आई वॉन्टेड समथिंग दैट टू बी वेरी स्पेशल. ओके, दैट समथिंग no one else has got or ever will have, something just mine like this garden. I don't know what it is. Mr. Lamb, you could find out. How? Kaise? Mr. Lamb, watching, listening and waiting, sitting here or going there. I will have to see to the bees. अब मुझे जाना होगा किसको देखने? मेरी bees को देखने. Mr. Lamb told Derry, those other people who come here, do they talk to you? Ask you things. See over here. Why is Derry using this sentence? Those other people who come here, do they talk to you? Ask you things. जो लोग यहाँ आते हैं, क्या वो तुमसे बात करते हैं? Why is Derry saying all these things? Derry was saying all these things. Why? Because Derry was explaining all these things because Derry has a perception that handicapped persons and disabled persons have no friends. That's why he is raising this question. Do they talk to you? Ask you things. Okay. So Derry asked if he could help him pluck the apples. Mr. Lamb said that he could help him if he wanted to. Derry said that his mother would be waiting for him. His home was 3 miles away. We have already understood. Then Derry explained. Then Derry said that Mr. Lamb added, once you reach home, you would not feel like coming back. Okay. Then Derry explained that his family forced him to do things their way, कि मेरा परिवार उनके अकॉर्डिंग चाहता है, मैं उनके अकॉर्डिंग काम करूँ. Mr. Lamb said that it was Derry's wish to agree with them or not. Derry was confused about what he wanted, something that was only his and no one had it, like the garden. Mr. Lamb said that he could find out what he wanted. Derry asked how he could do that, कि आप ये सब कैसे कर लेते हो? Mr. Lamb replied that Mr. Lamb told him to wait, watch and listen. Okay. Then he added that he had to see the bees. Derry asked, did the other visitors talk to Mr. Lamb? Mr. Lamb replied that some did, while others did not. कि कुछ बात करते हैं, कुछ नहीं करते. Okay. Then Derry asked, What? Mr. Lamb replied that some did while others did not. Daddy said that he did not believe it. कि मुझे आपकी बात पे विश्वास नहीं है. That someone ever visited the place. Why? Because Daddy has the perception, strong belief. What? कि disabled लोग के कोई friends नहीं होते हैं. Okay? That's why. Daddy, all right then. I don't believe in them. मैं आपकी बात पे नहीं विश्वास करता हूँ. I don't think anybody ever comes. You are here all by yourself and miserable, and no one would know if you were alive or dead, or nobody cares. Mr. Lamb, you think what you please कि तुमको जो सोचना है वो सोचो. Mr. Derry said that he did not believe that someone ever visited the place. Mr. Lamb lived alone all by himself. No one cared for him. Mr. Lamb said that Derry could think as he pleased. Okay. Then Derry asked, what? All right then, Mr. Lamb, you think what you please, Derry. All right then, tell me some of their names, Mr. Lamb. What are names? क्या नाम है? Because Lamb has no friend. That's why he is using this sentence. What are names? Tom, Dick, or Harry. Getting up, I'm off down to the bees. कि मुझे जाना होगा bees को देखने. Okay. Then Mr. Lamb said that names. Okay. Mr. Lamb said that names. Fine. And Mr. Lamb replied that Mr. Lamb said that names were nothing, and then told that they could be like Tom, Dick, or Harry. Means he did not want to tell the names. And what are names? Name में क्या रखा है? And then he told that Tom, Dick, or Harry. Getting up, I'm off down to the bees. कि मुझे कहाँ जाना है? I would like to see my bees. Mr. Lamb, he left to see the bees. Daddy, I think you are daft, crazy. Then Daddy said that perhaps Mr. Lamb was mentally challenged. कि you are mad. Mr. Lamb said that's a good excuse. बहुत अच्छी बात है. Very good excuse. Daddy, what for? किस लिए? You don't talk sense. You don't have sense. You did not talk sense, and that's why he said so. आप मूर्खों की बात करो, इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ. You are mentally retired, challenged. Okay. Mr. Lamb repeated that it was a good excuse for not returning to the garden. Good excuse not to come back, and you have got a bund of it. Good excuse. You have got the excuse not to return back in my garden. That what? कि मैं क्या हूँ? पागल हूँ, इसलिए तुम मुझसे मिलने नहीं आओगे. And Daddy's face was burned, which was others people's excuse for not seeing Daddy. And you have got a burned up face, and that's other people's excuse. तुम्हारा excuse क्या है? What is your excuse? As you are not returning back to the garden, that Mr. Lamb is mentally disturbed. And what's other people's excuse not to meet Daddy is that Daddy's face is half burnt. Daddy was touched. Daddy could touch your feelings. You are like the others. You like to say things like that. If you don't feel sorry for my face, you are frightened of it. And if you are not frightened, you think I'm ugly as a devil. I'm a devil, don't you? Shouts. Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees. Okay. So Mr. Lamb was telling that Daddy's face was burnt, which was other people excuse that because Daddy said that Mr. Lamb did not talk sense, and that's why he said so. Mr. Lamb repeated that it was a good excuse for not returning to the garden. Daddy's face was burned, which was Mr. Lamb का क्या है? Daddy का क्या excuse है कि Mr. Lamb का चेहरा Mr. Lamb जो है वो कौन है? Mentally retired है. He did not talk sense. Okay. And लोगों का भी excuse क्या है? That Daddy face was burned, which was other people's excuse for not seeing Daddy. Daddy said that Mr. Lamb was like other people. If he was not sorry that his face was burned, then maybe he was scared of it. If not that, then maybe he thought that Daddy was as ugly as devil. Okay. Mr. Lamb does not reply. Okay. I'm ugly as a devil. I know very well that you thought कि तुम सोचते हो कि मैं कौन हूँ? Ugly हूँ. Okay. I'm a devil, don't you? Shouts. Because he was showing his irritation. Mr. Lamb does not reply. He has gone to his bees. Daddy, quietly, no, you don't. I like it here. Daddy said that Mr. Lamb was like the other people. If he was not sorry that his face was burned, then maybe he was scared of it. If not that, then maybe he thought that Daddy was as ugly as a devil. He added that he was a devil. Daddy shouted. Mr. Lamb did not reply. He had gone to see the bees. Daddy became calm. He liked to be in the garden. No, nahi, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा यहाँ से, मैं यहीं रहूंगा. I like it here. Pause. Daddy gets up and shouts, I'm going, but I will come back. You see, you wait. I can run. I haven't got a chin lag. I will be back. Daddy runs off. Silence. Sounds of garden again. Okay. Daddy, Mr. Lamb had gone to see the bees. Daddy became calm and said that Mr. Lamb did not think him to be a devil. कि आप मुझे Mr. Lamb कि तुम सोच रहे हो. Daddy became calm. Then he thought that Mr. Lamb did not think him to be a devil. कि नहीं मैंने गलत बोला. Mr. Lamb मुझे क्या नहीं बोल सकते हैं, devil नहीं बोल सकते हैं. Okay. And then Daddy got up and shouted that he was leaving, okay, and he wanted to come back in this beautiful garden, and that he would return to see him. He did not have a tin lag, could run and would be back soon, okay. Daddy ran off. The place was silent with the sounds of creatures of the garden. Mr. Lamb talked to him. Mr. Lamb here then said to himself, dear my dears, that's you seem to, you know, we all know. I will come back, they never do. Though, not them, never do come back. The garden noises fade. So, Daddy thinks that nobody ever comes there. The old man is there all by himself and miserable. Daddy asks him about the names of the people who visits here. Mr. Lamb says that he's making excuses for not to come back. Daddy gets angry when he heard Mr. Lamb speaking about his face. Daddy assures him to return and ran off. But Lamb says to himself that people never come back. Though they say that they will come back. Okay, Daddy assures him to return and run off. But Lamb says to himself that people never come back, though they say that they will come back. Fine. So, Mr. Lamb was explaining over here. What? Mr. Lamb was explaining over here why. Mr. Lamb talked to the bees that they saw all that happened. They all knew that no one ever returned to the garden. Means he was talking to bees कि तुम जानती हो कि कभी भी कोई लौट के नहीं आता. Means what? That if anyone is planning to come next day, he or she will not return. Why? Because whatever you want to do, you have to do now. And moreover, Mr. Lamb was not assured that he had felt the positive vibes in Daddy. Mr. Lamb को अभी भी लग रहा है कि शायद वो Daddy को पूरा नहीं समझा पाए. Okay, that's why we have come to know this. And now we will see Daddy has reached home. Daddy अपने घर पहुंच चुका है. We will see in my next session. I'll make you clear. हमारी next class में we will see that Daddy has reached his home, and then Daddy would argue with his mother. Okay, because he would like to go and help Mr. Lamb. उसको वापस जाना है और Mr. Lamb की help करनी है. Then we will see, will he get success? Will Daddy come out from his isolation or not in the next class? Thank you. Have a nice day.